174 West.
Here's the underside of that bridge. These are the pillars of the old bridge. At the top. Of the elevator, going up the stairs. The TheDanVan. There's the TheDanVan. There's the fort. Taking the elevator ride down. Okay, the bridge took 36 months to build, and before that there was 6 months of planning, so the total time involved was 42 months. There's only 4 observatory bridges in the world. One's in China, one's in Thailand, and they're not open to the public. There's another one in Shanghai that's open to the public, and then this one in the United States here in Maine. So there's 4 observatory bridges and only 2 are open to the public. This one in Maine and the other one in Shanghai. That's a neat place. I just wish that it was sunny and the day was clear. At least it's not raining. But man, it's beautiful and the views up top are great. The bridge is actually at the part of Fort Knox State Park. Man, look at this. The entire way of the bridge and the deck with vehicles on it is supported by a system of wires only 1/5 of an inch in diameter. 7 of these pencil-thin wires are twisted together and then coated with epoxy to prevent corrosion, producing a cable strand. Here is the actual size of each steel wire. Look at that. The actual size of a strand after they're wound. Man! Between 41 and 73 of these strands make up each of the long cable stays that stretch from the towers to the road deck. This totals 2,532 individual epoxy-coated strands measuring 1,897,650 linear feet, or 359 miles. Since each strand is made up of 7 wires, this totals more than 2,500 miles of wire, enough to stretch from here to Portland, Oregon. Each of these strands can hold a weight of 58,900 pounds, the equivalent of 25 automobiles or 350 people. Been to Fort Macon. Now I'm at Fort Knox, Maine. Here's where they had the turrets for the cannons. And they aimed them at this window. They used stone, granite masonry, and then they went up to bricks. Main courtyard. Fort Macon, North Carolina. And I'm up here. Right there, Fort Knox in Maine. And there's the layout of Fort Knox. Look at all the forts we had along the East Coast. Fort Knox, Penobscot Bay. Here's where I wanted to go, Bay of Fundy, St. John. However, Canada's closed. But when I lived on a sailboat in 2008, we did sail up here to Halifax, Nova Scotia, before we sailed across to Ireland. I am here in Bucksport, Maine, and I'm in a cemetery, and I'm looking for Colonel Buck's grave site. And this seems to be a bunch of Buck family here. Colonel Buck is the founder of the town of Bucksport. You remember in the old days they used to burn witches. Well, Colonel Buck found a witch and burned her. And oddly enough, her leg popped out of the fire while she was being burned alive. So on his grave site, this is either a boot or her leg, and they've replaced that piece twice, and each time that stain reappears. Ooh. Hey everyone, hope you're having fun. I am, and you should be too. You remember Betty was telling Rose that she was going to go on a diet, and the second day she'd be off of it. Well, Betty now decided that she was going to be a vegetarian, and she was telling Rose that. Rose looked at her and said, "Why in the world do you want to be a vegetarian?" And Betty said, "Well, Rose, I love animals." So Rose chimed in and said, "Oh, so you hate plants."